At 8:30 tonight, the Warriors on the road at the Clippers. Golden State just lost their 5th game of the year last night. Damian Lillard went for 51.
We was able to get out and run and, play Blazer basketball. We had the ball moving. We was hitting threes. We was hitting guys on cuts. And that's fun basketball. It's fun to watch and it's fun to be a part of.
We'll see how much fun this Warriors-Clippers matchup is tonight. Steph Curry and crew, the Splash Brothers, trying to bounce back. They are now a 3-point favorite on the road at the Clippers in Los Angeles. Northern Trust Open also in Los Angeles. Round 3 underway. Jason Korak ready to get his round underway in a couple hours. He is 10 under par. He is your leader. Dustin Johnson 2 off the pace. So is Bubba Watson. They are both at 8 under and they'll tee off at 3:30. I'm Sam Farber. You are listening to NBC Sports Radio and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
This is KCAA.
In 2007, very few were able to benefit from the housing market crash. Since then, major banks like J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Deutsche Bank have been very quietly investing in what we consider to be the bank's best-kept secret. In fact, they have already amassed around $240 billion ready to move. We're talking H2O. You know, water. It's now considered the most valuable commodity on Earth, and it's finite. To find out how you may be able to make money with it, call for a free report. Dial 1-800-379-5302 and just say, "Send me the free water report." It's that easy. Even ex-presidents are invested in water in one way or another. By 2030, it's estimated 40% of the globe will suffer some sort of water scarcity. This is your chance to help the environment as well as potentially bank some nice profits. Get a free water wealth report now. Call 1-800-379-5302. That's 1-800-379-5302.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm James Coates for this morning. Beautiful sunshine today and 75. Tonight clear, low down to 49. Sunny Sunday tomorrow to wrap up this weekend with a high of 85. Clear 54 Sunday night and Monday the brand new work week, sunny and 87. Monday night clear and down to 54. And Tuesday, beautiful sunshine, high of 87. Once again today, plenty of sunshine on this Saturday. High of 75 with a light west wind at 5. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hey Di, do you know that many people have no idea that the Carousel Mall is actually open?
What? Do you tell them that that's where KCAA is located?
Of course, but there's more than just KCAA here.
Oh, I know. It's a totally great place for a girls' outing. Here at the Carousel Mall, there's Mega Beauty Supply.
And it's huge.
Yeah, the biggest beauty supply store I've ever seen. And they have wigs and extensions.
Then there's Backstreet Beauty Salon and Daniel's Jewelers, a store, by the way, for girls and guys.
Yes, and Nail Fashions where they do waxing and eyelash extensions. There's Lisa's Threading. You know, Mark, eyebrow threading is a big thing nowadays.
I do know about Mr. Yu's.
Yes, when you're ready for lunch, it's Mr. Yu's Chinese restaurant.
Best of all, Mr. Yu's is right next to KCAA.
Yes, all this located in the Carousel Mall, right off the 215, the 2nd and 3rd Street exit.
Come visit the Carousel Mall. We're open.
For more info, go to kcaaradio.com.
If you're trying to prevent a home foreclosure, you need the Goodman Law Firm on your side. Goodman has a nationwide network of foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has resolved troubled mortgages across the nation. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Call the Goodman Law Firm, 888-800-6030, or contact them online at www.arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Si usted está tratando de evitar que su casa sea hipotecada, usted necesita al Grupo Legal Goodman. El Grupo Legal Goodman consta de una red nacional de abogados, expertos en hipotecas capacitados para representarle durante el proceso de mitigación de su hipoteca. La firma Legal Goodman ha resuelto casos difíciles de hipoteca en toda la nación. Tome el control de su situación hipotecaria hoy mismo. Llame ya 888-800-0000 877-829-6030 o contacte al Grupo Legal Goodman en línea arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Hey there, sports fans. Chabdog here. You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date sports coverage and news. You haven't laughed so hard and been informed so much until you've heard it from the mouth of the sports expert himself, El Chabdog.
Welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk, the weekly sports talk show on Kcaa, AM 1050, FM 106.5. We're brought to you by Chabdog Sports Blog for ahead of your sports headlines, the Chabner Law Firm, Transactional Legal Services, and Arnold Goodman Law Firm, Mortgage Mitigation Law Firm, Legal Services. Very good firm. Don't wait too long to contact them if you've got mortgage issues and need to talk to a good attorney about mitigation services. Well, Mike, nice to have you here.
Always a pleasure.
And now we're making that transition out of football into college basketball because March Madness is looming, and that is exciting. This week we've got a bunch of games going on. Have you started to get back into college basketball at all?
I'll be honest with you, I have not, but I'm interested. I like college basketball. I like high school basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, high school basketball is fun. I didn't play it though. I was too busy studying and playing tennis.
Yeah, well, that's why
that's what nice Jewish boys do.
I was going to say that's why you have so many degrees.
But I wish I had played it. It does look like fun. We've also got Eric Sauve here. Do we have some special music for Eric? Because Eric is north of the border usually. Eric, how are you?
Hey, Chabdog and Mike. Fabulous. Thanks. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Good morning, Eric.
We want to share the land with you. Share the airwaves.
I really appreciate it. It's a beautiful day in South Detroit. It's in the high 50s, bright and sunny.
Wow, they're living the high life in the beer city. Oh, that's the Motor City.
The Motor City.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Milwaukee.
Motor City. I was thinking of Milwaukee. Got my upper Midwest cities mixed up.
55 is still sweater weather for me. I mean, I don't want to rub it in, but it's going to be about 85 out here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you guys are getting a bit of a heat wave. Looks like some great beach weather.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. It's just downright boring. It's so predictable and beautiful.
Best job in television is to be the weatherman in San Diego.
Yeah, February is a real miserable month for in most parts of the United States. At Yale when I was there, we had to have a party every day of February just to make up for the miserable weather. It's called Feb Club. And well, anyway, I don't want to digress too much from sports. What's going on in your mind, Eric, regarding the college basketball situation? Anything in particular? You want to talk about any bubble teams or interesting teams?
Well, it's a pretty fluid top 10, and I was surprised as of this morning, Gonzaga's down at number 60.
Wow.
And they're usually, to be on the bubble right there,
60?
What kind of tournament would it be without Gonzaga?
Did you say 60 or 16? What did you?
60.
Okay, because if you're 60 right now, you're in bad shape unless you're in a special situation. I mean, I think there are a lot of bubble teams out there that probably have better cases than Gonzaga, but it would be disappointing not to have them in there.
Sounds like a down year. Sounds like a down year for Gonzaga. I mean, normally they're perennial, participants in the March Madness.
My sense is that it's an up year for the ACC, obviously, and then the Big Ten looks good to me. The Big 12 is really strong, and then I don't know. The Pac-10 doesn't. They have Arizona and Oregon, but UCLA is kind of I don't even know if they'll make it.
Yeah, the Pac-12 seems like they're having a down year.
Yeah.
Yep.
USC is a nice surprise, and they've got a good coach, but they're still fighting an uphill battle. I think that they're a bubble team. May well get in. the ACC is just loaded with Duke and
Villanova.
Well, Villanova's Big East, I think.
Oh, really?
I think
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think even though they're number one, but I wouldn't trust that completely because they were way up there last year and they had a terrible loss in the tournament, just terrible. But I like Kentucky as a kind of a comeback team because they had a bad start, but they're kind of flexing their muscles now. And the other team that's interesting is Texas because they've got a good coach. This guy Shaka Smart. Have you ever seen him coach, Eric?
No, I haven't.
He's a scrappy.
How long has he been there for?
2 or 3 years. He coached at a real small school before that. Do you remember what school he was at?
No, I don't have a clue.
Smart. I think it was like Virginia something. It was maybe VCU, and then.
What did you say his name was?
Shaka Smart.
Shaka Smart. It's kind of like that fight last night with Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
But Kimbo Slice playing something 5,000. Did you guys see that matchup?
No.
What was that? Was that a
MMA fight or a boxing?
Yeah,
match,
it's an MMA.
Oh, okay. No,
but the names, I just couldn't get past. Kimbo Slice. I mean, I guess for an MMA fighter, that's a good name.
Slice. Yeah, I guess he's.
Oh
good
yeah,
with,
and he's
good
playing
with
his opponent. Dada 5,000.
Well,
no kidding.
Eric, do you watch some of that fighting stuff? Do you ever watch?
Wait a minute. Dada 5,000.
DADA 5,000. Yeah. No
okay, now we're just making stuff up.
I don't know.
No, I'm not. I swear.
No, I'm not saying you're making stuff up. He's making stuff up.
Athletes have all sorts of weird names.
I guarantee that's not his given name.
You remember?
Yeah, no. His mama didn't name him Dada. No.
There was
word.
There was a guy in the on the Chinese Olympic team who did the trampoline, and you know what his name was? Dong Dong.
Dong Dong. Sounds like a movie from the 70s.
If the floor is kind of open to you, Eric. Do you want to talk more about college basketball? We could, or we can talk about something else.
No, we really should get back to college basketball. I mean, it was pretty quiet week except for Roy Williams.
Yeah, did you see the Roy Williams Duke debacle there? I basically thought Roy blew that game. I didn't like the way they ran the last 25 seconds. I mean,
what do you? I mean, it's not like Roy Williams. Nobody would say he's an idiot. What do you think motivated him to not do that? I mean, I heard the explanation, but it still didn't make sense.
It sounded weak to me. I don't know if you heard him, Mike. He said, "Well, I wasn't brought up to play that way, and that's not the way I play, and I don't choose to play that way. But then again, if I had to do it over again, I would have done differently."
Does this have something to do with his health issue previously?
His vertigo?
Yeah,
But he was sitting on the bench. He wasn't standing, so I can't blame the vertigo on that. I just think he tends to get coached out of he gets coached out of his pants by Coach K, who does it to most people, and that's why Duke's still really scary, even though they're ranked 20th. I'm not buying how good a lot of these teams at the top are, and Maryland, for example, they're questionable and they're falling, so I think.
Well, speaking of which, Brandon, where does Notre Dame fit in this?
Notre Dame is kind of like in the top 20. I think they're in the top. Their RPI is 20, and they're on the bubble technically, but I think they're in because they're 9-4 in their conference and 18-7 overall. Beat Iowa, who has a big ranking. So I think Notre Dame's going to be in, and they're good.
Oh, really? You don't think they're a poser team?
I don't think so. I would put a lot of faith in them getting in. I looked at some. I think if you're under 500 in your league right now, you're probably not getting in unless you do really well in a tournament.
Well, in college, it's called a conference, not a league.
Yeah, conference, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And they'll probably be one of those 8-9 matchups. And then when you go to pick your 64 team, 68 team, or whatever many teams are in it nowadays, when you go to pick your bracket. Those are always the tough ones, the 8-9s.
Yeah, I always get those wrong. All right, well, we're going to go to our break, and Eric, stay on the line. We got a lot of good stuff coming up, including Stuart Owens very shortly. You want to hear him.
Sitting here in Avalon, looking at the pouring rain.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ears sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The Law Office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Kcaa.
All right, we're back for the second segment of Chabdog Sports Talk. That's actually a nice song. It's one of, I think it might be Billy Joel's last song officially. It's called Famous Last Words, and I'm sort of in a Billy Joel mood right now.
Frame of mind?
You're seeing a lot of Billy Joel stuff on
Come
my show.
on, that was a great line. Frame of mind.
Frame of mind, yes. It sort of parallels my YouTube activity, and so you can check that if you want. I know Eric likes some of the football music I have there, right?
I do, but I'm actually looking on your website this morning and really like that picture of Mr. Peanut. Who's that guy he's standing next to?
Oh, I don't know, but I thought Mr.
Looks really familiar.
You're saying
like a mirror? Maybe he's standing next to a mirror.
My post was something like, I've never seen Peyton Manning and Mr. Peanut in the same room. They just bring up, they seem associated, and when he got the plantar fasciitis, it was perfect. But now Peyton has other problems. We were going to talk to Stuart Owens about that, but we couldn't get him on the line. Eric, do you remember that what happened here with Peyton and those allegations? Did you read at all about that?
Yeah, that goes back to 1984, and I even kind of remember it at the time, thinking, this lady. So, okay, so and this is how it was described at the time, as best as my memory serves. He's a kid. He's finishing university. He's a Manning. He's got a big chip on his shoulder. He's kind of had a license to be a smart aleck for quite a while and get away with it. So he's in a medical examination with this lady, and he whips out the package and makes some joke. It doesn't touch her. It doesn't get within 5 feet of her. She makes a report on it. Then she makes a big stink about it. The Manning family says, hey, we don't need this. Here's $300,000, disappear. And that was all recorded, and everyone just kind of laughed it off back then.
Mm-hmm. It was confidential, probably, and everything.
What I found out afterwards is that she then went and tried to sue take somebody else to court in a similar circumstance. She lost that case, though.
Yeah.
So, and after the lady had done this with Manning at Tennessee, I guess, I'm not sure she was let go, but I guess, everybody else was like, hey, she was getting some bad vibes there, so she moved on, and no surprise.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the story, but I mean, was this a medical person?
Some kind of medical person. I'm not clear whether she was a doctor or not, but some kind of medical person, yes.
All I could gather was he's saying that he was mooning somebody or doing something goofy, and his stuff rubbed the wrong place or hit the wrong thing.
Well, it's the opposite of a moon, but from what I understand, there's no contact made.
It was just kind of shocking, I guess. And not appreciated.
Yeah, I guess like today you probably get 10 to 15 years if you flash yourself that. Back then,
but wait, it was in the context of
sensibilities were different.
It wasn't like he was stripping, and he was part of a medical exam. So
exactly,
she's got to expect to see that.
It's in the context of like when I went to play college baseball, the doctor told me, "Oh, they want a full exam." And when he put on the rubber glove, I'm like, "Oh, hey, doc, hey, what's going on here?"
Getting a little friendly there, huh?
This is, I guess, this is the men's health segment of this show.
The men's health, yes.
Okay. Well, Eric, let's turn to the NBA a little bit. I want to play a little bit of a clip here, and let's see if this brings back some memories. So, Joe, play some of that clip on the NBA series.
1969 and the future of two teams hinged on a coin flip.
The coin has come up tails.
Is this the clip?
But did it flip?
So in their second year of existence,
okay, here we go.
The expansion Milwaukee Bucks acquired the draft rights to Lou Alcindor, likening him to Chamberlain. Experts predicted that he would transform the young Bucks into instant contenders. He did not disappoint. Averaging 29 points a game, he would lead Milwaukee to a 56-win season. The following year, legendary guard Oscar Robertson would join the team in a trade that would send expectations soaring.
I joined the Bucks. I knew we were going to win the championship that year. As soon as I got there. Destiny, confidence. I just knew we were going to win.
Well, when I heard that Oscar was coming to play with the Bucks, I was very happy. I thought that really made it easy for us to win because of his abilities at both ends of the court. Getting to work with him every day really helped me see his greatness.
With the Big O controlling the game from the perimeter, and Big Lou unstoppable down low.
To the middle of Lou. He's got it inside of Unsell. He stops the ball. 2 more.
The Bucks laid waste to the rest of the NBA, compiling a league-best 66-16 record. Steamrolling to the conference finals, the Bucks reached a much-anticipated confrontation with Wilt Chamberlain's Lakers. It proved to be no contest.
Boozer dumps it low left to Lou. He's got the ball in the hand, about waist high. He turns right-hand hook, and
Alcindor and his Bucks romped to a decisive 5-game victory that left no one unconvinced.
Well, I think they had all the parts. When you have an Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's a nice duo to build around.
Unseld would witness this duo at its devastating best, crushing his Bullets 4 games to none. The Bucks would become only the second team in history to sweep the finals. In 3 short years, they had gone from expansion team to one of the NBA's greatest champions.
Down low left side from Oscar Lou. Great fake Lou.
Okay, so I don't know if you like the Bullets, Eric. I know you like the Redskins, and that was more for Stewart because he's a Bucks fan. But I remember that series. The Bucks were.
But they were the Baltimore Bullets back then, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. They didn't become the Washington Bullets until I think around when they won it in 78 or 79, 78.
Yeah.
But it was a great series just from the standpoint of seeing some of those players together. God, it's so beautiful watching Kareem play in those days. I love his hook shot.
Well, back then he was Lou Alcindor.
Yeah, but I just can't remember Lou Alcindor. I remember Kareem, but I remember watching Lou Alcindor play, and then Oscar Robertson was so talented, do so many things, with all the triple doubles he could get, and didn't really have a standard jump shot. But
Lou Alcindor, when he was with Coach Wooden at UCLA, I mean, think about how he could have just dominated had they allowed the dunk back then. You couldn't dunk.
Not with Coach Wooden. I mean, was it Coach Wooden?
No, that was
an NCAA thing.
That was an NCAA rule.
I was surprised to hear it was that late because that was still 70s.
Yeah, up until the mid 70s,
late 60s.
They disallowed the dunk in college basketball.
Yeah, well, he was so dominant and so good for so long. He's got to be in the top 3 of all time of the players. I think we know he was 2 or.
Well, he was on the Jimmy Fallon show the other night doing the Papa Shot thing with Jimmy Fallon, and he just absolutely smoked Jimmy Fallon in Papa Shot.
Yeah, not surprising. Well,
not surprising.
So, anything in NBA that particularly interests you right now? The Golden State Warriors had a bad loss last night. They lost to the Portland Trailblazers. Got blown out. So they may not be the team that of all time the way some people are speculating.
You don't think they're going to match the Bulls record?
If I had to bet on it, I would say no, because there's, like Jalen Rose said last night in one of his shows, there's just too much talent in the NBA overall that if you don't show up with your A game on a given evening, you will lose. And there's no excuses for the Warriors last night. They just Draymond Green had a bad game, and Lillard went nuts. He had 51 points. He's quite a talent when he's on, and I guess they used some smaller, faster guys covering Draymond Green, which turned out to be smart because he had a lot of turnovers, and so maybe there's a formula now for handling the Warriors.
Okay.
I saw the Spurs lose badly to the Clippers. That was unimpressive, and made the Spurs look kind of old, which I'm surprised to see because they do have a lot of good guys coming off the bench. But Tim Duncan is just not the factor he used to be. Obviously, Tony Parker slowed down. Manu Ginobili's hurt. I don't think the Spurs have anything locked up at all in terms of being in the conference finals.
And is Blake Griffin back on the court yet?
Blake Griffin's not even back. I think the Clippers, if they just get him back and keep working that bench and getting reliability off the bench in terms of contributions, they're going to be formidable. It's just the problem with the Clippers is also psychological. It just seems
well. But weren't there some rumors that Griffin's on the trading block?
I haven't seen that. Have you seen anything?
There were, but he didn't get moved and. But then it's a testament to the team how well they're playing without him. I mean, do they really need him anymore? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep winning without him. The other team to watch is Cleveland because they picked up Channing Frye, and we could talk to the next guest about that. But Channing Frye's, I looked at his stats. He's almost scoring double digits and in points and has 5 or 6 rebounds a game over a 10-year career. He's a pretty decent player.
Did you see the I didn't watch it. I saw a couple clips. Did you see the dunk contest? I forget who it was, but he jumped over the mascot and pulled the ball out of his hand and did like a 360 wheel. I mean, it was absolutely, I mean, how somebody can jump that high. When I was in high school, I could almost get a volleyball down. I couldn't do the basketball, but what this guy did, believe me.
And there was no trampoline involved?
No trampoline involved. He just went up and over, and it was. And the other guy had some nice moves as well. So it was interesting to watch. I mean, I guess they're trying to bring it back, to where it's actually entertainment, as opposed to some of the years past. But no, it was interesting. The clips I saw on the internet.
That's about all I can stand out of the All-Star game.
I didn't watch any of that.
Other than the All-Star game itself.
Eric?
Do you watch that, Eric?
No. I unfortunately missed them both, or fortunately or unfortunately missed them both. Although I heard the dunk contest was a lot of fun. But what was that record score in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
It was, what, 2004 to 2003 or something?
It was like 2 games worth of points in 1 game.
Yeah, I mean, nobody plays defense.
Here, you take it. You shoot it.
All right, Eric, we're going to have to go to break here. You're listening to Chabdog Sports at KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll be right back.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdognostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Okay, we're back for the second half of Chabdog Sports Talk, and I'd like to welcome back a prior guest, Frank Fleming from creator of Sports Encyclopedia's website. Frank, hello.
Hey, how's it going there? Been going good. I'm looking forward to the start of the baseball season, and
yeah,
I recently started doing a service of looking at 19th century baseball teams.
Oh, yeah, I love the fact that you go back in time and look at. You do those team histories, really cool. I had to read through them. It's designed for junkies like me, but I had something in the background there. You're aware of, I'm sure, of Meadowlark Lemon passing, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because you can cut the clip there. Because one of the things that Frank does is he's always making us aware of who's recently died that was prominent in the sporting world, and so. I know you covered Monty Irvin, and he was a big New Jersey athlete, right?
Yes, he was. He played for the Newark Eagles, which was the Negro League team in the Newark, New Jersey here.
Yeah.
1946 Eagles
a lot of people say was probably one of the best Negro League teams ever. It was they dominated, won the Negro League World Series. They won the Negro League National League pennant. They were a terrific team, and Monty Irvin was probably the big star off that team.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
And Monty Irvin, he played with Willie Mays with the Giants back in the Polo Grounds
in the 50s.
Yeah.
Monty Irvin actually was the first African American to play for the Giants, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
After
and Monty
Jackie Robinson, of course, joined the Dodgers.
And Monty Irvin, according to a book I'm reading, he was kind of the father figure for Willie Mays, taught him not to run around and do the wrong things. That's one of the roles he played when he played with Willie with the Giants.
Yeah, I've heard that. He definitely was a mentor to Willie Mays. And I guess it's important to have when you're like a kid. Because when Willie came over to the Giants, he was only like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, he was.
So it was very important to have someone that could grasp him and show him the right way. And of course, I don't think there's many baseball players that have ever been as classy or as just a greater person than Willie Mays was.
No, I agree, and everything I read in that book, I guess Leo DeRocher had a lot to do with it. He kind of babied him a little bit.
Leo the Lip.
Leo the Lip.
He was a nice guy.
Well, he took care of Willie because he saw what Willie could do for his team, and I guess there was some resentment from other players that he got preferential treatment. But it all worked out in the end. What year did they win the World Series? Was it 54? 54, yeah.
Yeah. So
1954 World Series, Game 1. That has to be the most unfair game in the history of baseball, if you think about it.
Well, tell us about it.
Whitworth hits a blast, 500 feet to dead center that Willie Mays runs down.
Yeah, over his head, right? That was the famous catch.
And then the Giants win the game on a pinch hit homer by Dusty Rhodes. They went straight down the left field line, 286 feet off the foul ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's
picked
unfair.
The hard luck, was that the Cleveland Indians that were on the losing end of that? The Cleveland hard luck.
Yeah,
Cleveland
I believe it was Cleveland.
Who haven't won a World Series since when? Anybody
48.
remember? 48. Yeah.
I just recently put a team up on my site from the 19th century. They were called the Cleveland Spiders. And they were decent throughout most of the 1890s. And as the National League was getting ready to reduce itself from 12 teams to 8 teams, as the 20th century began, the Spiders were going to be one of the teams that was out. And basically, the owners of the Spiders brought the St. Louis Brown Stockings. They renamed them the Perfectos, and they are your modern-day Cardinals. And he took all his best players from Cleveland to St. Louis, including Cy Young.
That's right, Cy Young.
And the resulting team that was left behind in Cleveland was basically a minor league team that nobody wanted to play for because everyone knew the team was going to be folded. And they ended up in their final season going 20-134.
That's a tough year.
That sounds like the Major League movie where the team was trying to lose. Was the owners wanted the team to lose, and they were hopeless for a while. Well, Eric, do you have any questions for Frank? He is, as you can see, the storehouse of sports history knowledge.
Well, Frank. First of all, it's a pleasure to speak with you. And my goodness, you guys are the oracle. I mean, I'm just in awe and really enjoying the history lesson here. But maybe you can tell us a little bit about the website. How long have you had it up there for?
I've started the website in 2001. It's basically a hobby for me. I actually have a full-time job besides doing this.
Well, that was my second question. What are the economics like? I see you have a little bit of advertising on there. Is it an economic? Is there a way to monetize a site like that?
I make a little bit of money, but I guess it's just not well known enough to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm a court clerk. I work at a criminal court during the week, and I come home and I work on the site at night, and I work on the weekends.
Yeah,
I actually started a chat board, which I'm hoping to get new members.
Yeah, I participated in that.
I got very few members right now, but if I get more members, it would be nice to get something really up and going and chatting. A lot of people chatting on it.
Yeah, Eric, like Frank on Facebook or something, and you get to know him that way, and and then you can stay in touch and get involved in the chatting. And it's just I don't know how, Frank, you go back. You have to go back in time so far for these the baseball teams.
Frank, how do you do your research on all this knowledge that you have about all these baseball teams? For instance, give me some knowledge on. I know that when the Giants moved to San Francisco, they basically took over what was then the PCL Seals, and then the Seals went somewhere else. I think Arizona to play in the minor leagues.
But the PCL was always a minor league.
Right.
It's just that it was sort of like a AAA league and a half before California baseball, before the Dodgers and Giants moved out there.
Joe DiMaggio played for the Seals.
Joe DiMaggio played for the Seals. Ted Williams played for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
So you had like big stars that came out of the Pacific Coast League, and they went straight to the majors. This was a AAA and a half league. It was like better than most minor leagues. That it was very competitive. I mean, the teams probably wouldn't be able to beat any of the major league teams, but they were a decent minor league. It was a very good league.
It just, Frank, it must be hard to, how do you keep track of where you are with your updates on each of these leagues and the teams? There's so much to do.
What I typically do is I update every team as the preseason starts. So I'll be pausing my 19th century research.
Yeah.
To start doing major league updates probably sometime first, second week of spring training games.
So
where I get some of the new players and pitchers in the new teams.
So
and I write the story of the summary of last season.
So when you do your research on the 1900 teams, what resources do you use?
I use basically baseballreference.com mainly. I look up stats, records, maybe
there's a heck of a lot
games.
there.
If you notice, it's just like unless I can find like a story about the team, a little here and there, research about reading it, and I can expand on it by using these stats and game updates and records. I mean, there's not much knowing about these teams. Not much has ever been written about these teams.
Yeah, and do you do the Negro Leagues too? You've done anything on that? That's too much.
I'd like to one day.
Yeah, you should go to the museum in Kansas City. It's a great museum. Maybe it'll spark some ideas for you. Actually, the other thing I want to, before we go, is I want to talk to you about, are you interested in what's going on with hockey and the good play of the local teams like the Islanders and the Devils?
Well, the Devils have definitely been a pleasant surprise this year. I really thought this team was going to be like a bottom feeder. But Corey Schneider's had a terrific season. He likely won't win the Vezina. Yes, it looks like Braden Holtby is
the
Washington
guy.
Corey Schneider should definitely be one of the finalists for the Vezina.
Mm-hmm.
The Devils, they just need to get a little more scoring, but they're going in the right direction, and hopefully they'll get Mike Camilleri back and be able to make a little bit of run at the wild card or that third place in the Atlantic.
Yeah. So you're a Devils guy, not an Islanders guy.
No, I'm a Devils guy. I live in Belleville, which is 8 miles from Prudential Center. In fact, the courthouse I work at is literally like 5 blocks from the Prudential Center, and I could see the Prudential Center from outside the windows.
Mm-hmm. Are you a college basketball fan too?
Oh, when March comes around,
yeah.
It's become a 1-month sport. It's good. The tournament's so good.
Yeah.
That it robs the rest of the season, but the tournament is so good that you just can't look away in March. I mean, and I think that March actually starts with the conference tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I see. What I like to see is that NJIT this year is going to, a local school here that a couple of years ago went winless. For the first time, we're going to play in a conference tournament. It'll be interesting to see if they can make a little run.
Mm-hmm.
They actually went to Michigan last year, Ann Arbor, and beat the Wolverines, which just blew my mind.
I see you have a picture of John Stockton on your website from this date in history. He was a heck of a player. I was fortunate enough to be at his last home game up in Salt Lake, and I heard that he didn't like to sign autographs, but I bought a T-shirt at halftime, and we were fortunate enough to be down on the court after the game and after he did all his interviews and got his autograph. Nice guy. He's a heck of a player.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
definitely. He was a true point guard. I mean, it's almost like Stockton and Malone. It's like you can't talk about one without the other. It's like
right.
They really were like just a matching set. It was like cufflinks or something like that. They just
were
so perfect together. No, I think they actually read each other's minds at the end.
Yeah,
Frank, thanks so much for being our guest. Those are your perfect last words, and we'll have you back on soon. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, just visit my site. It's the first place for sports history, sportsencyclopedia.com, and I look forward to the start of baseball season. I hope that we can chat again and sign up for my chat board.
You got it. All right, Mike.
Thank you, Frank. You're listening to Chabdog Sports Talk at KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Highlights from Chabdog's 9/11/15 show. Town from that standpoint, but the Redskins, people get very excited about the Redskins
because it's an event.
Yeah, it's what are the people going to be wearing? And it's an event not to be missed. People won't give up those season tickets for just anything.
Well, actually, they've had problems lately.
Well, that is the brand's having some right. It's no longer a good brand in terms of the performance.
Yeah, I mean, and also the when Jack Kent Cooke sold or before he sold it, he built this stadium out in Prince George's County, and it's really kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it takes forever to get there. It's just and really NFL football right now, the experience on TV is really great.
Yeah, so why go anywhere?
Why go anywhere? And with
let alone to PG County.
Exactly. When it used to be at RFK, it was great because everybody.
Do you remember when Howard Stern was going off on PG County? That was I think that was after he called up and asked for a one-way ticket to the 14th Street Bridge.
Yeah, that did well.
Yeah, that was
right after the plane crash.
Well, that's.
But do you remember the last time we played, which was many months ago?
Yeah. What happened?
I went up for a shot and I came down kind of funny, and
your calf
just a whisker away from an Achilles heel injury, like Sonny Jurgensen style.
Yeah.
Or Billy Kimmler, I forget which Redskin. I think they both had Achilles heel injuries. But anyway, and I'm writhing on the ground, and what does Chabdog do? He's berating me to get up and finish the game. And I hadn't even, the pain had not even worn off yet, and it wasn't wearing off, and I was just on the ground.
We had a burrito on the line, plus the soda machine.
Yeah, and I think I ended up still buying you the burrito that night.
I had no idea he was that hurt, first of all.
That's cold, man. That is cold.
But that's the kind of competitor that the Chabdog is, so I just wanted you to know that.
Is that why you stopped playing me? I hate to think that.
I
would have corrected that if you had pointed it out. I always had such a good time playing you.
Yeah, we had some great games, and I would love to play again. I just I think it was a blessing that I got hurt that night because I was very heavy at the time, and that happened at the beginning. And bad things happen when heavy people do really intense exercise all at once, and that was, if you're going to do something once a month, either pick up basketball or
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
Okay, we're here for the home stretch of Chabdog Sports Talk. So, Eric, could you believe how much knowledge is in Frank Fleming's head? We could have talked to him for another 2 hours about sports history.
I was, as I say, just in awe and really enjoying listening to it. I was happy you guys were there because I'm not even sure what questions to ask.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a love for it, which I have, but I think he's in his circumstance he's able to indulge it, nonstop. So we got TJ on the line. Okay, let's talk to TJ. Who's
TK?
TK, sorry.
TK
Kuvaruno. Did I pronounce that right, TK?
You did, sir. Yes, you did.
Thank you. I'm playing something for you. I'm so glad you're on. You remember this from earlier in the year?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Were you watching that on TV or in a bar somewhere?
Yes, I was actually in Ann Arbor watching it at a friend's house.
Oh, God. Was it you were at a Michigan fan's house?
I was at a Michigan friend's house.
I was going to say, you traitor, you're a Spartan. But I got to say, I'm a Wolverine. My grandfather played on the same offensive line as President Ford, so I'm Michigan through and through.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, that's sad to hear, but I'll have to respect it.
Yeah, so go Spart. What is it? Go Sparty? Sparty is their mascots at Michigan State Spartan you see on the sidelines, right?
Yes, it is. Sparty is that guy.
So, TK, you played college football. Give us a little history of how your career went at Michigan State.
Well, yes, I'm actually going into my junior year of high school. Kind of made the decision that regardless, I wanted to go to Michigan State. I came here for a visit. Actually, it wasn't even for football. I came here to visit a friend, and I fully fell in love with the school, fully fell in love with the university. So, senior year, I started getting recruited by Michigan State. Thought everything was going to go right. Thought I was going to, get my scholarship offer. Actually separated my shoulder going into my senior year, and was obviously doing the whole healing process. Played my senior year. Ended up getting a preferred walk-on spot here in Michigan State. So, freshman year, came to Michigan State, was an amazing time. This is the year that actually, Kirk Cousins' senior year, and this is, I think, I would say, the stamping of Michigan State, finally, becoming a powerhouse again. This is when we, really, really showed up. So my freshman year was eye-opening. You go from playing, high school football, being, the man on your at your high school, and coming here and everybody runs a 4.4.
Yeah.
Everybody is big. Everybody is the best person in their high school. So, freshman year was an amazing time. I only did play 1 year, which was my freshman year. Kind of had to make a decision to help some family out with some financial things. But, I can't say enough about the things that I learned from Coach D, the life habits that he taught me, which ended up transforming into, my business life, my business career, and just the family culture they have here. Michigan State wins for a reason. It's not by fluke. It's not by anything else but system, because Coach D really knows how to take kids who, were on top of the world, before getting to university and getting them to buy into the system. So my freshman year, my experience here was truly amazing.
Yeah, you go from being a big fish in a small pond to all of a sudden you're a little tiny fish in a much larger pond. I experienced that when I played baseball.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. Exactly.
So TK, did you start you didn't start as a freshman, right?
No, I didn't. When you have actually B.J. Cunningham, Keith Nickel, and Kcaa Martin, all guys who have had time in the NFL, you definitely have a sitting and waiting process and watching process. I did not start my freshman.
But did you get
Did you return punts?
Yeah.
Actually, I did not return punts. I wish I did. Only one person our freshman year started, and that was Taiwan Jones. He was built like a senior when he came in, so he was the one that started. But a lot of my close friends, like Trey Wayne's close friend, Shalik Calhoun, those are some of my best friends. My freshman year, watching them, and their journey was definitely amazing. Because freshman year, we're all, just sitting back, itching, waiting for our turn.
Yeah.
Did you get your degree?
Actually, I have about a year and a half left here at Michigan State. And so as of right now, I'm in the transition process of figuring out if I'm going to finish in Michigan State, or I plan on moving to either Chicago or California for business. So right now, just, obviously plan on finishing up my degree. I would love to finish off as a Spartan, but there's some things in life right now that might be steering me in different directions.
Well, okay, if I can steer you in a direction, today it's going to be 85 degrees out here in lovely Southern California.
That direction is very, very does the trick very much. California is one of my heart. I visited there a couple of times, and it's hard when you wake up some days here in Michigan, it's like negative 70 degrees, to wonder, why you're not in California.
So you must be really fast, huh? Do you like training on a track and keeping your speed up?
Yeah, actually, I would say that right now in life, I'm in as good a shape, if not better shape, than I was when I played football.
Really? So your overall speed probably is about the same?
Yes, it's about the same. It's not better. I eat healthier than I did when I was eating in the calf every single day, burgers and pizza, and you just mature and you realize that you only have one body. So I definitely love staying in shape. I do cardio for at least 45 minutes every single day and things like that. Yeah.
You can tell from his picture he's in shape. This guy.
What when they clocked you? What did you run the 40?
I always ran my 40 and around the 4.4s.
Yeah, that's fast.
That sounds good. 4.40.
Yeah.
Yes.
As opposed to my time, 5.040. Eric, what's your time? You're a runner, aren't you?
I have been. I'm a distance guy, not speed like TK. But TK, it's a real honor to speak with you. And I've been reading up on your career here, and I see you didn't even start playing football till your freshman year in high school. Tell me, when you got to college, do you notice that difference? Do you notice any difference whatsoever between kids playing, going back to Pop Warner, maybe even playing when they were just finished their diapers, versus you who came in as a freshman?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to, the football, I would say the football IQ. I'm a very fast learner in life, but I think there's, I'm a very strong believer in you develop habits the longer you do them. So regardless of how fast of a learner that I am, clearly a kid who's been playing football for 15 years of his life is going to have way more instilled habits and way more better advantage of being able to do things because his repetition and the amount of times he's done it are 1,000 times more than I am. So for myself, when, let's say, for example, like coming in football, the only playbook that I've known in my, 6-7 years of football was my high school playbook, other than Michigan State's playbook. You have kids who've played Pop Warner who've had the transition between playbooks and learning your system. I never had that, that challenge. So for me, going into my freshman year, it was like, the freshman year of Michigan State, it was almost like learning football all over again, and I'd never experienced that. So I think that for a lot of these guys who have experienced those changes, who have experienced going to different schools, transferring, things like that, they had a better feel and a better realisticness of what the life of joining a new program can bring.
Hey, TK, real quick, we're getting up to the end here. Chabdog has a note about Zimbabwe. Can you tell us about that connection?
Yes, I was born in Zimbabwe. I came here when I was 7 years old, and my family. I still have a lot of family there, so that is the motherland. That's when people ask you where are you from. That is exactly where I'm from, Zimbabwe, the motherland.
All right. Well, speaking of where you're from, what do you think about Michigan State? Do they have a good chance to win the whole thing this year?
I really think so. Denzel Valentine is playing lights out. I can't say.
I like Valentine. I like David Guy Costello, don't they? A tall guy.
Yes, Costello, and then Forbes is shooting lights out as well. I think that right now, I think that they're a team that's really gonna step up once the tournament.
You beat Kansas. That's an impressive win because Kansas is one hell of a team. So
they are.
let's have you back on, and thanks for being our guest on Chabdog Sports Talk, TK.
Thanks, TK.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Eric Sobet, very much.
Thank you as well. And you're wrapping up here at KCAA, 10:50 a.m.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Upset alert in the Atlantic 10 in the top 25. Number 15 ranked Dayton playing host to the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure. Second half action on NBC Sports Network, and the Flyers not flying quite so high. They trail it by 2. Other top 25 action today. Second half, and number 20 Duke leading on the road at number 18 Louisville, 54-50. They're under 8 minutes to go in that contest. Final 4 minutes of the first half.